getting into the discussion with us and sending your comments, your requests. And we thank you for whether you're listening in on the podcast or if you watch the YouTube channel or if you just watch the replay or just joining us on Facebook Live. We thank you and we appreciate you. And so on tonight, we have a very special guest with us. His name is Henry Gaskins. And listen, through spiritual and secular training, he coached individuals since the late 1980s. He studied health with a view of nursing home, hospital administration, and business management at Nassau College. With Alzheimer's disease, hypertension, diabetes becoming prevalent in his life, he was forced to become a caregiver for a family member. Personal fitness has always been a part of his life. However, he was diagnosed with prediabetes. The doctor told him there's nothing you can do about it. It's hereditary. So he said, well, the doctor said we'll just have to manage it with insulin and do the best we can. And he said, no way. So on tonight, we're going to hear the rest of his testimony and the rest of his story, and we're going to hear about him on tonight. So I introduce to some and present to others no other than Henry Gaskin. Hello, Henry.
Hello, and thank you for that amazing introduction. Wow, I was about to look around and see who you were talking
about. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. I'm so delighted. And I know that you are, like a professional with this topic. And so I'm glad you came to share with us. And so on tonight, I want to ask a little bit about you. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, there's not a whole lot to tell. I am I like to call myself an Afro-Caribbean half-breed. My dad is down here in the good old North Carolina, at least he was, and my mom was from the British Virgin Islands.
Okay.
Specifically, the islands of Saint Kitts Nevis.
Okay.
What else can I tell you a little bit about? Let's see. I've been married for 30 years.
Okay.
And in fact, we just celebrated our 30th last November. Mm-hmm. And let's see. I have one boy, and from that one boy, I have 6 amazing girls.
Okay.
And I've always loved kids, so a good portion of my life has been working with kids. Mm-hmm. And kind of guiding them along the way. When I was staying over on the Eastern Carolina side, fun fact, I would round up some of the congregation young fellas and take them to the gym with me and work out and stuff like that. So that's kind of long and short among the many adventures.
Okay, well, you have a litany of accomplishments and things you have done to, help others, not only help yourself, but you've proven that you are able to help others. And I know that you are a professional, you are a life coach, certified life coach. And so we thank you for your expertise on tonight. And so I want to ask you a question. So we're talking about diabetes tonight. And so all of you who have tuned in, we're discussing diabetes on tonight. And so here he came. He's going to help us to lower our number, and he's going to help with exercises that we can do to help us lose weight. And so, Henry, the first thing I want to ask you is, what is A1c and how does it affect our health?
Okay, so the A1c basically is a test that they do to measure the amount of glucose in your blood. So your glucose actually attaches to the cells in your body. Mm-hmm. Now, that is a big situation that we need to be aware of. The reason why, okay, have you ever heard the phrase black don't crack?
Yeah.
Well,
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. But guess what? Mm-hmm. When glucose attaches to your cells, black don't crack. Black
Yeah.
is going to crack. So it really, they're finding out now that by removing glucose out of a person's diet, out of a person's system, they could actually forestall, if not even reverse, much of the aging
Mm.
process. So if you really want to look good and stay that way until in your 80s and 90s, okay, lower your A1C. So the basic level that they prefer is below 5.7%. So
Okay.
if you're below that, if you're 4.6, great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so why are people of color more likely to be affected by type 2 diabetes, hypertension, Alzheimer's?
Well, there's a number of reasons, but as African Americans, we're subject to eating foods that directly and adversely affect our health.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about it. First of all, we have the cultural foods that we eat, yes? Okay? We call it soul food, right? But now, on the other hand, here's the challenge, okay? We often live in areas that are called food deserts.
Mm.
We live in a lot of the urban areas. I grew up in New York City, and I had a great little town, and we had two grocery stores that brought in farm fresh food. Okay?
Okay.
As time went on, a lot of the other cities swapped things out for little bodegas, little convenience stores that sold what was called not just food, but food-like substances that
Mm-hmm.
people love to eat. Okay, it's the sickly sweet, ultra sweet stuff. The stuff
Mm.
that's designed not really to nourish you, but to actually hit your pleasure centers, your reward centers, your brain, so that you become addicted. So
Mm.
you wonder why the person keeps going back to Bojangles. That's the reason why. Okay,
Yes.
much of the stuff after a while, if you taste real food, it doesn't even taste good. But a study was done, and they found that black participants in the study in Alzheimer's disease, they were 35% less likely to be diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease and related
Mm-hmm.
dementia. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing: doctors are now discovering that that Alzheimer's
Mm-hmm.
is actually found in the body 30 to 40 years before the symptoms show up.
Wow.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's why. And here's the thing about it. All those things, diabetes, diabesiosity, Alzheimer's, hypertension, are all linked to sugar. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So again, there's a challenge there because here we are as African Americans, we're already in the food desert. There's a Dr. Mark Hyman, who has a podcast on, you may have heard of him, and he put out an article that commented on the racism that comes as a result of the deliberate placing of fast food restaurants in
Mm-hmm.
minority areas. And here we are addicted to that stuff. And
Yeah.
don't get me started on the agricultural industry that sprays our foods with Roundup and other chemicals that actually go into our bodies and cause these problems. So
Yes.
African Americans are on the forefront. We tend to get hit with the illnesses more so than anyone else. But then on top of that, you have also the indigenous population, First Nations here of this country, that are likewise affected by these same illnesses.
Mm-hmm. I want to read a comment. My husband said that diabetes is a major issue in the African American community. Other than eating the wrong food and losing weight, what else can one do to lower A1C levels that's effective?
Excellent question. Okay, here's the main thing. All right, and people, you're going to hear, you're going to hate me saying it,
Mm-hmm.
but exercise.
Yes.
Why is that the case? All right, there are two main parts of the bodies that use the most glucose:
Mm-hmm.
your brain and your muscle.
Okay.
And the glucose is stored in the muscle. So when you work out and you have the more muscle, you can metabolize it and thus lower the A1C. I recommend light cardio. If you're over 40, and I work with clients over 40, I have a certain amount of cardio. You don't have to do a whole bunch of jogging, things like that. But you can do things to increase your heart rate, but most importantly, resistance training so that you build the muscle so that you can metabolize the glucose and it's stored properly. If you do it in the morning,
Uh-huh.
okay, then you're actually jump starting it and having it run the whole day long.
Okay. Okay, so we need to exercise in the morning.
That would be that's the ideal time. That's the ideal
Yeah.
time. And I'll tell you another fact. Okay, understand when you're building your muscle like that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about blood flow and brain flow, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And guys who are over 40, if you're over 50, and you're running into that moment where the we call that the 21 gun salute. You guys, you know what I mean. Okay. All right. Early in the morning or throughout the day, we have our missus there. We know the 21 gun salute. Okay. But that's not happening. Here's the reason why. The problem is the blood flow.
Mm-hmm.
When you work out and you increase your blood flow, that blood flow is everywhere. Now, here's the key. If you're having blood flow issues down there, it also indicates that you're having blood flow issues up here.
Mm-hmm.
So exercise in the morning, build that muscle, increase your blood flow. That will lower your A1c as well as to keep the blood flow going and keep your energy levels up so that you continue
Mm-hmm.
burning glucose throughout the day.
And I also heard and understand that what you eat in the morning
Oh, now
affects.
we're getting into something really interesting. Okay, all right. Yes, what you eat in the morning. But here's a question:
Mm,
what's the most important meal of the day?
breakfast.
Says who?
Says I don't know. A doctor. I've heard a few say it. I heard a few doctors said the breakfast, what you eat early in the morning, is how you would feel like it starts your day.
Yes and no. Okay. See, here's the thing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
your body does not have to have breakfast the first thing in the morning. When you just break that word apart, you are breaking the
Break,
fast.
break fast. Uh-huh.
Breaking the fast. So from the time you stop eating the night before, you are fasting. And your blood sugar levels, they'll go up for a bit, you see, but they're going to start to decline.
Mm-hmm.
When you wake up, your blood sugar levels might be a little high, but
Mm-hmm.
you can still go and prolong that time before you eat. It doesn't have to be the first thing in the morning. And what that allows is for your body to metabolize the glucose more effectively. You see, you might
Mm-hmm.
want to have some sort of beverage, no calorie beverage. The best thing is water. If you want to get a little kick, some green tea, coffee, matcha, if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
But something, and that will keep you full. But you see, what you really want to do is to lower your A1c, lower your glucose, and that's a key there. So no, breakfast, yeah, is not necessarily the most important meal of the day. The most important of the meal of the day is the meal that you can take to get started with the rest of your day. You've had some time. You see what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? You've had
Mm-hmm.
some time to move along. You notice I have not used the word diet yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what's wrong with dieting? What's wrong with dieting?
Oh, there's so many diets out there. Okay, you got
Right.
keto, paleo, vegan, Atkins. You got the Hollywood diet. You got the Brazilian diet. You got all these different things. You name it. It can be hard to decide which one to go with, and not all of them are sustainable when it comes to healthy living.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you right now. Personally, I don't even like the word diet. Okay, all right, all right. Yeah, do me a favor. Spell the word diet and leave off the T. What do you have?
Like DIE.
which means die.
Yeah.
So think about what's happening in your brain when you say, I'm going to go on a die. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So
Right.
the idea is, I really prefer the term eating lifestyle. You see,
Mm-hmm.
it takes away the stigma and the sense of deprivation that a person has when they use that word diet. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it's better to think about your eating lifestyle because you have a variety of things that you can eat. They're not
Mm-hmm.
focusing on what you can't eat. They're not
Right.
focusing, you're looking at great, delicious food.
Mm-hmm. So, can I ask you? I want to ask you a question. So, when the doctor told you that you were pre-diabetic, what are some of the things that you did to lower your A1c? What did you do?
Okay, all right. Just like I tell everybody else, and a lot of folks, because we work together on our day jobs, and a lot of folks, ask me, what did you do? Because they notice certain things happening. So,
Mm-hmm.
long story short, I extended the times between eating.
Mm-hmm.
I focused on healthy leafy greens and high proteins,
Okay.
and I embarked on a daily, quick, consistent workout that built my muscle and kept me moving throughout the day.
Mm-hmm.
I literally started off with 25 push-ups every morning.
Okay.
Now I do 100,
Okay.
and I do that every morning, and I do some dumbbell exercises and things like that. So
Okay.
the idea is, and it's no big secret, but not
Mm-hmm.
everyone has the motivation. That's what I like to work with people on, is to help them to stay focused and motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many of us need that support. And sometimes you get together, especially at the beginning of the year. Did you ever have that girlfriend say, girl, we're going to lose weight this year. We're going to get it. We go there, we pay our money, and we go to the gym, and then we get off of work, and we're going to go to the gym, and then we get off and we pass the ice cream store, Baskin Robbins, and we decide, let's not do that. Let's go to Baskin Robbins, right? At some time, you peter out. But with me, what I do with my clients, they know that we're going to be following up, first of all. But most importantly, I give them the education that they need
Yes.
in order to make the right choices and in order to know what to do and when. I always do a follow-up. I try to go ahead and give them nudges. Sometimes, like with my client out in the state of Washington, Chris,
Mm-hmm.
I send them daily nudges, little things like that. I have to make them up sometimes with Canva or something and just send it to them as a reminder. Others, I'll sort of just text them and say, well, did you do A, B, and C? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
remember with you, okay. Others, I know one client who has a challenge with water. They're not crazy about drinking water. And so I have to tell them, hey, look, go ahead and get your sweetener and put it in
Mm-hmm.
your water, and so you can drink some water. So make a big jug of it the night before. Just remind it like that. So understanding they have to come back and say, yes, I did A, B, and C, or I needed some help with this. You
Mm-hmm.
see, that gives them the impetus to stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
Because quite frankly, how many people really want to get up and pick up a big hunk of iron in the morning or
Mm-hmm.
something like that? Me, I have no problem with it. But even me, first thing in the morning, my thing is, oh God, right? So, so,
Yeah.
so it's a matter of just moving forward and just being determined.
Okay. So I know that you have a YouTube channel and you're giving out this type of information to encourage people and to give them the information to educate people and to bring awareness about diabetes and different subjects that you have. So about your YouTube channel, what is your YouTube channel called?
Well, you can look under Henry Gaskins, Crush Your Mountain, Health, Wellness, and Personal Growth, or you can look up Hangster OG. And I always tell folks the OG stands for old guy, but you can look that up and you'll see my videos. I've been doing videos now for a couple of years. The first one is specifically on diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
So I have, and the health, wellness, and personal growth is just that. Health dealing specifically with diabetes, wellness would deal with like flexibility or other aspects. I've been doing a lot of interviews as of late, um, dealing with either like death and bereavement. I have a bereavement coach that
Okay.
works with me, and she's on there. I have a nurse of 28 years of diabetes coach, and in fact, you may know a couple of them personally. You remember Dr. Ali and
Yes.
Dr. Carly? They're
Yes.
both on there. Dr. Ali is a two-parter, and
Okay.
Dr. Carly. Um, Also, I have a seven-time New York Times best-selling author and PBS specialist. His name is Dr. Joel Furman.
Okay.
He's an amazing guy. I did a two-parter with him right during COVID, and I have some others. We have some situations. I've interviewed individuals. Last month was February, and we interviewed Stacy Cootley. Now, if anyone has been paying attention to what's been going on in Canada, they have been finding in this one school, Canada has these residential schools, and the residential schools are where the colony, the people who had moved in, they would take the children of the indigenous people,
Uh-huh.
put them in their schools to strip them of their culture. But not only that, but those individuals were abused in so many ways.
Yeah.
And they found 215 bodies of
Mm.
children at that school. Well, the mother of the person who I'm interviewing, she
Mm-hmm.
went to that school, her mother. But what's worse is that a family member also was subject to that school. As a result of the torture that he endured, he became a molester, and the person I'm interviewing was the victim who
Mm.
triumphed over that. Was able
Okay.
to go through that, but to hear her story, it
Uh-huh.
almost broke my heart. And
Yeah.
but to see that, so that's a great one. Um, Coming up, I have a brain energy coach who's on the wellness side of things. And by the way, like I said, it's personal growth. So personal growth would be Stacy Quigley. Um, the brain coach, wellness side of things, she's going to be coming up. Her name is Rena Lang. She's an amazing world traveling woman who's done some tremendous things and found the secret to reversing brain fog and creating brain energy and actually developing a laser focus, you know.
Okay. Well, that sounds wonderful. For the upcoming pro podcast, I mean your YouTube channel, the upcoming programs you have and the guests that you have coming on seem like it's very informative for what you have coming. So let me ask you a question. What does this program, who does this program not work for?
Well, my program, you mean, in my
Yes.
coaching?
Yes.
Well, it won't work for individuals who expect others to do the work for them. Okay, my
Yeah.
okay. So let me just explain what coaching is real quick, if you don't mind. Okay,
Okay.
so coaching came out of the psychotherapy world. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
people go to a therapist though to resolve the problems of the past,
Mm-hmm.
but a person comes to a coach in order to create an inevitable future.
Right.
Our goal as coaches is to really help you see what's in you and help you reach your inevitable, beautiful future.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the person has to be able to do the work, be willing to do the work. You can't
Okay.
come to me and I say, well, I need, you're going to need to do A, B, and C. Well, can you do that? Can you help me do that? Okay, well, here, I want you to go ahead and we're going to do this. I explain to you the reason why, the mechanics of it, the everything else. And then if I come back and 5 days later, it hasn't been done, I've poured my heart out. And because I take it very seriously, I know the importance of individuals' health. And as African Americans, we tend not to take it as seriously as we should. You see?
Yes.
We are the workers. And dare I say, it's not just African Americans. It's Latino Americans. It's Asian Americans. All individuals of color are the workers. But I can speak for what I grew up with. My dad was a hardworking man. Okay, he worked for the post office all of his life.
Yes.
And but he didn't do the things that he needed to take care of himself.
Okay.
And my mom was a brilliant woman. Okay, if you wonder where I get my language thing from, it's her. Okay, she would be. I remember she would be able to sit down and piece together what people were saying, and they weren't even. She'd never even seen their country before.
Oh.
And she would tell me, they're saying this. Tell me the conversation.
Yes.
And me, little old me, 6, 7 years old, they got to run up. Did you say something about his wife? And then look at me in shock, Well, this brilliant woman, I saw her because of her diet, because of not paying attention, because of being addicted to the foods that's in the center of the aisle, the center of the store, instead of shopping the outer rim of the store, which is what everyone should do. Instead, because of that, I watched them both decline. And so they said, Dad, you need to go ahead and exercise.
Yeah.
Did he do it? No. You see? Now, the important thing is for people to do the work. Even if you don't hire a coach to get you there, plan your work and work your plan. Well, my program works for individuals that are willing to do the work. And I guarantee you, I have several individuals on my website who have left either videos or written testimony. And so that shows the caliber and level of work that I do with individuals.
Okay. So, Henry, if someone would like to contact you and ask you questions or get a consultation of your program, how would they contact you?
Okay, well, one of the things you can reach out to me on is Instagram. I have an Instagram, it's weight loss and diabetes. You'll see Henry Gaskins there. And in the link, you can go there. It'll take you to my link tree. You click on that. It'll take you to a calendar. You can set up an appointment there, or you can DM me that way. Or if you want to reach me faster, you can reach me through my business number, which is 434-218-4198.
Okay.
I'm going to say that again. It's 434-218-4198. And the name of my company is Chrysalis Transformational Coaching. You can see it right here.
Okay.
And I want to first talk with you because we're not always a good fit. And I'll tell you right away, if we're not a good fit, then rather than take you through a whole thing and it not work for either one of us, I'd rather have you go to someone else that's comfortable working with you and you're comfortable working with them.
Yes.
You see? But that's it. I usually have about 2 clients a week.
Okay.
Anyone that would like to reach out to me, we can schedule some time to have a session. And my first sessions, just the discovery session, that's free.
Okay. So on tonight we have Henry Gaskins with us, and he's a life coach, a certified life coach, and he was giving us information on how to bring our A1c down and how to lose weight. And also, if you would like to reach out to him to be in his program of when he's gonna life coach you and help you. He's the coach. Like if you can
I'm a
picture
health
someone,
and life coach.
listen.
I do your health and life. So those are two
Yes.
modalities. Okay, because on the life side, we have situations where we work with you on that also. But on the health side, which is the thing I've been focusing more, especially with our community, as a health coach, it's the amount of information that I'm learning. Okay? So next, if we ever get together again, I'd love to share with you why you need to get off of insulin and avoid statins, especially men.
Yes. So you hear that, people, why you need to get off insulin. And I want to say something. Like when I was a child, we would always hear about, we didn't hear the word diabetes. We heard the word sugar. Like, oh, her sugar too high, her sugar too low. So in your mind, you're just thinking, hey, they have too much sugar, they ate too much cake. But we did not know the depth of it. We just heard that name because we weren't educated. The people back in the day was not educated on what diabetes really is. We just thought it was an overload of sugar, or the sugar was too low. We did not know how, it was your pancreas not producing insulin or producing too much, or, we did not know that. And so to bring awareness and to bring, to educate people on what it really is, it will help us. And as you said, the doctor told you that you were pre-diabetic, but you said, no, I'm not going to take insulin. You did, and you worked out. So thank you for giving us this information, to bring awareness, and we appreciate you. And I know that as you've been a life coach, that others' lives have been transformed. They have been changed. And we just appreciate the work that you do and the care that you have behind it, the compassion, to help transform people and to help them to live a better life and to have a better lifestyle in their health and in other areas of their life. And so we really do appreciate you. And so if there's any last words like that you would like to say to somebody that's saying, hey, I went to the doctor and they told me that I was pre-diabetic. They told me that I may have to take this medication, or they may be diabetic. What words would you give to that person that's in that situation right now, that's facing that?
Listen, I will tell you two things, okay? The doctor is not your boss. The doctor is your servant. So too long have we been in that situation where, the doctor said so, I guess I better. No, the doctor is your servant. So you have to take your health into your own hands and do your research. There are podcasts you can listen to. We have a library, you have Google, we have YouTube. There are ways of doing things to reverse, if not control, your diabetes. So before you say, yay, I'm going to go on the insulin, all right, which, by the way, they're going to tell you you need to lose weight. Then they put you on insulin. And insulin is a growth hormone that moves the body to put on weight. Then they tell you to lose weight. So again, do your research. Don't just take the doctor verbatim. If you need to see another doctor, I would suggest a functional medicine doctor. Okay. We had a nurse just at our plant a while back teaching us how to do first responders, the CPR. And in the discussion with her, when I said that it was reversible, she goes, yeah, it's absolutely reversible. Type 2 diabetes. Now, type 1, that's a condition from birth. Your pancreas stops working and it's not producing. Type 2 diabetes is also called insulin resistance, where the body is not utilizing the insulin. So you have too much insulin because it's not metabolizing well. So the idea, the understanding again is see a doctor, but do your research and don't take this word verbatim.
Okay, thank you so much. And Henry, I want you to give your information one more time, your contact information of how someone can reach you and contact you if they want to be in your program.
Okay, you can look me up on Instagram Okay, that's the one thing. DM me on Instagram or in my link tree, which is in my profiles. You click on that, you can set up an appointment. Number two, you can also contact me directly at 434-218-4198. I'll give you one more. If you'd like to check out my website, which I'm in the process of revamping anyway,
Okay.
But you can always check it out and go see my testimonials, things like that. That's Chrysalis Transformational Coaching Service.com. Chrysalis Transformational Coaching Service.com. Let me spell Chrysalis because some folks say Crystal, then they call him Christopher. Okay, so Chrysalis, Chrysalis. Okay, Transformational Coaching Service.com.
All right. Thank you so much for coming and share with us.
Thank you
for
so
your
much for
time.
this. I hope everyone is stay healthy, get healthier, and don't climb them out.
Yeah, so we thank you once again, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Amen. I saw people coming in. Thank you for tuning in. Anthony Warren said great information. Both of you are awesome. Thank you, Anthony. God bless you. Thank you. And my husband said excellent. He said awesome information. So thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. And go check out Henry on his YouTube channel. He has some very vital information that will help you be successful in your life, to help you be well, to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit. So we thank you again, Henry, for coming, and thank you again for you all on Facebook Live that tune in. God bless you, and may the heavens smile upon you, and we will see you again soon. And like I said, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Struggle, Strength, and Success Podcast. I'm your host, Prophetess Sharon Thomas, and we had a special guest, Henry Gaskins. So God bless you, and have a great day in the kingdom of God.